Before my detailed comparison between the Huawei Mate 9 and the just recently released Honor 8 Pro, I want to get into the revisit of the Huawei Mate 9 again. And usually this is how things work. Whenever I review the device and found it so great, I just have to retest it a few months later to know if it's still as good as it was the first time. But things are a little bit different here with the Huawei Mate 9, because that one back when I reviewed it kinda left me cold. I said it's a great phone, but it didn't quite impress me the way I expected it to. And having it here once again, I actually have to say a few things have changed in my perception, and that's why I won't make the normal revisit I usually do going through everything else again. But what I want to actually do is go through my old pros and cons to check off all of these to see what actually has changed and why I like this phone a lot more than I did the first time. So let's get into the first thing. Class-leading build quality and relatively thin and compact. I still have to say, yes, this is absolutely the case because it feels super solid. The buttons have this amazing premium feel. The fingerprint reader is pretty much the fastest on the market and actually quite nicely placed. And it is definitely thin and compact. Yes, it has the black border on the white version, but as you can see, this is still very, very compact by even these days standards. The next thing that I said, awesome buttons, of course that is true as well, and the fingerprint reader, I've covered that. Brilliant display, especially the quality. Nothing has changed here because I still think this is one of the most beautiful displays on the market. And even though it's just 1080p, it's the clarity and the quality of it that I like so much because it has this amazing contrast and those nice balanced colors, and yes, absolutely amazing still. The next thing, very good speaker. Just to cover that real quick, a little bit of a demo. Nothing has changed here because we still have the kind of HTC 10 arrangement with the earpiece as a speaker and more for the highs and so on the bottom. And this still works pretty much in the best compromise here because we don't have front-facing stereo speakers, but it actually sounds way more than anything else like this. So I would say the next best thing, and for this combination with which I've seen on a few other phones by now, this is, I think, pretty much the best solution. Otherwise, what else did I say? I said above average headphone jack. Yeah, still kind of true. It's about average, maybe a little bit better. Flagship performance, that is absolutely true because what I actually said, that is one of my cons, that it is maybe not perfectly smooth and it has some quirks, but by now the phone has gotten a few updates, and as you can see now what I've complained about is actually gone, because what I did complain about was the fact that I've seen some minor quirks and some few things like stuttering here and there, but now it's actually way smoother, way nicer overall. So I definitely like the performance now better. And where it was still a little bit of a complaint back then, it's absolutely not anymore, because now the device is smoother than ever before, more consistent, and yeah, fully satisfying. So this actually has even improved. Great plus battery life. I guess this is still the same because I did not quite make the full proper battery check that I usually do, but back then I already had 6 hours, 7 hours on mix and 8 on Wi-Fi. So definitely still great plus. Nothing really has changed. Best EMUI yet, of course. Maybe not quite actually, because now we have EMUI 5.1, especially on the Honor 8 Pro already available, which I think is slightly better optimized. But once we get this here, will be even better. But it is not really necessary. Great camera overall. Yes, I have to say absolutely. But I will make this visible in the comparison between the Honor 8 Pro, that it kind of felt a little bit weird to me, but it's still absolutely true. Now, what did I have on my negative sides to check that? I said very big after all. Yes, obviously, but that was in brackets already back then, so all's fine. Only 1080p, but since I said this is even with today's standards are absolutely true, super nice flagship display, this is true as well. Performance, not flawless. Now, I would say it is, so this can be written off. Tweaked scrolling actually doesn't bother me anymore, because it bothered me back then when the performance was still a little bit stuttery. Not the case anymore, so that's why I don't really bother so much. I'm not the biggest fan of the tweaked scrolling, but by now it's so good that I don't really care. And the last thing was, EMUI still has its quirks. Yes, standby drain on Huawei devices is still not the best, but it's quite okay here. So, actually summed it up in way less than 5 minutes. With way less means like 10 seconds. So what's my verdict now? Absolutely a great phone. Now it is. And now it actually doesn't let me, doesn't let me cold anymore. I'm not that unimpressed by now, because actually now I am. I now know to appreciate the great design even more so, because now I actually know how compact and how great it is. The build quality I liked already, display, everything that was great, I know to appreciate even more, because I've reviewed a few other phones by the time here, and everything that's great, yes, is really great. The few downsides aren't really any there anymore, because what is left now, EMUI with its quirks, maybe the tweaked scrolling, so pretty much all the negatives have been eliminated, along with one more, at least here in Europe. The price is lower now. But where it was already like 700 when I still reviewed it, it's down to like closer to 600, even sometimes less. And that makes it pretty much, in my opinion, the best phablet. And yes, now I'm confident in saying that, which I wasn't back then so much, because now it is what a lot of people already have seen back then. So I'm not saying that I was wrong. Back then, it just didn't fully convince me. Now it does. But how close it is to the Honor 8 Pro and which one is better for you, we will see that in the next video. So until next time, bye.